And now, first of all, my apologies to those of you who are watching this programme tomorrow, when it's Saturday the 14th. But today, as we do it, it's Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th of November. In many countries, Friday the 13th is regarded as bad luck, inauspicious, a day many people would like to avoid by not going out of the house. But is there such a thing as an unlucky day, really? And how much of a role does luck, fate or fortune, have in our lives? Well, joining me now is the man who studied these principles, the principles of good and bad luck, Professor Richard Wiseman. Richard, welcome.
Thank you.
Of all the various theories, how did this day, Friday the 13th, become deemed as unlucky?
Well, to be honest, we don't really know for certain. We know that Judas was the sort of 13th guest at the Last Supper, so that's where the number 13 as being unlucky comes from. The reason why it should be paired with a Friday, a little bit mysterious. So lots of these superstitions sort of lost in the mists of time, but it does go back a very long way. It's a bit like touching on wood, which is a kind of way of getting the benign wood gods, a pagan idea, on your side. So these things really have a long history.
Right, and in terms, do people change their way of acting or their schedule on Friday the 13th?
They absolutely do. So in some ways, people are right to be a little bit nervous around the date because there's some evidence there's more car accidents on Friday the 13th than perhaps there should be, just by chance. The reason for that seems to be that people become a little bit nervous when they drive, and so therefore more likely to have those accidents. And
so people do that with suspicions on other days too, don't they? I mean, going under ladders and...
all of those things. So some of our research suggests that the sort of negative superstitions, the worry if you break a mirror, walk under a ladder, worry about Friday the 13th, those sorts of things not particularly good for you. They make you feel quite anxious. Some of the other superstitions, like crossing your fingers or carrying a lucky charm, those things tend to promote optimism. So they're actually not so bad for you because they make you feel a bit better about the future.
Yes. Though there was a case of Mr. Ronald Krebs, who was a driver who had his nose broken by a plastic religious good luck statuette hanging from the rearview mirror. So that was bad luck.
That's pretty bad luck, yes. Yeah.
Are people in fact lucky or unlucky? I mean, and do they affect that, in fact, I mean, by being more optimistic or whatever?
Well, that's really the central point in our research. So we followed the lives of about 1,000 exceptionally lucky and unlucky people. And we could see that for the most part, and this was excluding some sort of accidents and illnesses, but for the most part, they're creating that good and bad luck by the way they're thinking and behaving. So lucky people, as you say, very optimistic, they're very resilient. When bad things happen, they bounce back. They're very open to opportunities. Unlucky people are the opposite. So there's a huge sort of psychology of luck.
So are we born lucky or unlucky, or is it heredity or environment, or can we train ourselves to be lucky?
Yes, I mean, it's all those things. I mean, some people are born optimists, they're born pessimists, there is a big genetic component to it. Other times it is to do with upbringing. So in our research, we saw parents passing on their attitudes about good and bad luck to their children without realising it. But the good news is that you can change. So
you can?
Oh, absolutely. In the Luck Factor book, I talk about the various ways that people can train themselves to be lucky by looking on the bright side, by being open to opportunities and so on. So absolutely, we followed a group of people for about 2 years who are attempting to change their luck, and most of them managed to do it.
Well, that's good news. Are you a lucky person?
No, it's been a disaster. No, just kidding. No, I'm a fairly lucky person. I spent most of my career studying things that I find fascinating, which I think is a pretty lucky thing to be doing. Yeah.
Oh, well, that's terrific. Well, thank you very much indeed, Richard, and good luck.
And to you, thank you.
And good luck to you too. That's all from this lucky edition. We'll see you again next week. Join us then for another Frost Over the World.